game's starting.
what that issue is. Okay, so Emerald Crater, very tough map to play at any level. So let's see who can come out on top. The opening build is very low on resources. There's virtually no reclaim. I mean, these single trees are not that great to grab early on because you just need to expand, basically, is more effective. And yeah, they're not grouped. So virtually no reclaim. You have 4 mexes, which are not even close together. Then you have 2 more, again, not close to anything. And then now all the rest of the mass is quite a trek away. It is 20 by 20 land map. One of the most polarizing maps that you'll see on the ladder because a lot of people really do not like this map. I think it's good, deserves a place in these tournaments, although a lot of people on the ladder are probably not too fond of it. I think it's because it's 20 by 20 land and because the drops are very good. It's 20 by 20 without being very mass heavy, which is not what you normally see. It's not many maps like that. A lot of 20 by 20 maps just are insane spam and eco and tech fests, which is not a bad thing, but you know, a bit of variety is necessary, and this map provides that.
I think there's a little bit of reclaim trees that are area here. Right now, I'm looking. I don't think they're too up there, but they provide a little bit. That's pretty much all you get. I'm correct.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's no groups, but I could be wrong on that one. At least if there are groups, there's very few.
Massive lab attack. Hot, just go in the middle.
Oh yeah, this is one thing that people should know. If you just look at the labs and look at the path they're on, and then look at the move order, you'll see they're not even moving close to the right direction. Uh, so basically, don't give move orders across the entire map with land units. You can do it with their units if you want. They'll move in a straight line. With land units, however, refuse to. So you need to, if you want to move land units across the entire map, you probably need to give a few orders along the way because you know the pathfinding is pretty questionable on this scale and on the small scale, but also on this scale. So Inspector Cott making his air factory now. Torin doing the same. They have very similar builds, except for just way more labs for Cott, and in return, more expanding engineers for Torin. Slow says he's back.
Excellent. Yeah, it's just one extra. Hot is going very rush train. Now that's
Well,
gonna possibly get out there because Turn Scout hasn't gone out yet, so I think Cod's gonna get away with some very great gameplay. Now.
I think it's Torin that's being greedier in terms of, well, for one, he's just overflowing all of his power. He should have made, I mean, he's built too many P-gens, and he's still building P-gens, and he should have built a third factory instead of some of those P-gens. So he's already messed with the build, which is what I didn't expect him to do, considering he's probably played this map more than Cot. Uh, Cot just has a better build. You can see he only has 3 P-gens, and he built an air factory, and now he can afford, or he built a transport, sorry. He can build uh, another factory very, very quickly. This is a greedy transport, though, but yeah, he's fully getting away with it. And the labs, there's so many. And surely he finds it. The only problem I have with what he's done is that he doesn't have enough air scouting. He has 1 air scout. If he had 2, he would definitely find this lab, the engine on the right hand side with the lab, which he's actually missed now.
I'm wondering if the AC
Sadly.
is gonna pick that off. I think he's just gonna miss it.
Yeah, it's close, but the lab gets by, so he can run to the 3 mexes. He's kind of running to weird spots with his labs, honestly. Like he's not running to mexes, so I think he's kind of misplayed the labs a little bit. But overall, it's a good start for Cot because I mean Torin messed up his build in terms of just too much pigeons, too many pigeons, and Cot gets a transport down, and he has a factory halfway complete in that expansion. So really good start overall from Cot. Although his lab play, well, he actually got 2 kills with the lab in the middle. Actually, it's got a vet, so that's very nice, including 1 engineer, and I'm not sure what else. So, back in his base, Cot I think is probably gonna run out of mass because he's building a 3rd factory in his main base. Yeah, no mass now. Can't really afford that plus the expansion factory. And his transport actually was killed, which is very important because he absolutely need transports. He could be using that transport now if it was still alive to drop various expansions, but not anymore.
I don't know if you saw, this is entertaining. Lab just picked off an engineer at Terran's base, and he's got a second one in there. Probably driving him a little nuts right now.
In the main base.
And I gotta zoom out again. I gotta zoom out again real quick because Terran has actually gotten a transport over to the left expansion. So it looks like they've gone about. Well, I don't want to say equal now because Terran's got both the small 3-mex expansion on the left and right now, which is definitely going to be putting him ahead.
Yeah, the transport is huge. He got that over there. There could have honestly been a tank there already from Cot, potentially, but there wasn't. I think Torn was aware that he has an air scout around, so overall, it's quite even. The interesting thing is that there's nothing in the middle. Absolutely nothing. Like, no NGs, nothing. And there's 8 maxes there, so... And also, none of the corners have any engineers in them either. So, kind of strange opening. The way it's worked out, people are not expanding to the corners, and it kind of worked out because the labs would really have caught any expansion to the corners.
The right side's getting interesting. I was wondering if COD actually saw that Turn's ACU is moving over there, and I didn't see a PD going up quite yet. He's definitely mass stalling because he's getting a PD up. Well, actually, I don't know. He's reclaiming the factory so he can get the PD up quicker, which is actually a pretty nice move. You definitely want to ensure you get that there.
Yeah, the problem I see on the right-hand side is that he's just built so many engineers. You can't afford to have this many engineers in the map. There's not enough mass to use them all. So he could have like if he had 3 to 4 NGs, which is what he dropped, the rest should be tanks. And then he's much more secure there. If he has all these engineers, yeah, he can build a PD quickly, but they can't shoot anything. And they also can't build because there's just way too many of them. So that's a mistake there of just not knowing how much mass you actually have available to use. Another transport is built for COD in his base, and he'll probably drop into his corner expansions.
Turn getting some really nice bomber passes here on the right side. If this one gets around here and kills us over here, I think that's going to be... Yeah, he's not moving his engineers at all. I think he's going to get it strike. Will it be 5-4 or almost gets the 5th one? And finally COD reacts and takes it out with an interceptor.
Problem for Torn is he's building no Medusa at all. So he has nothing to actually kill the PDs with. Now, once there's 2 PDs, the comm is completely screened. Like, you can't fight 2 PDs with a commander. You can tank 1 and take, like, 2,000-3,000 damage and just say, fine, I'll take that to kill the base. But once there's 2, you're done. You can't tank that. So, a big mistake for him not to bring Medusa with the commander. He could be in a fantastic position if he had some Medusa. He could take the base, and then he'd be in great shape. But now he's going to be delayed for a long time because he's still not making Medusa from the factory nearest.
So he's got that base fairly surrounded. There's not much land support. There's some factors there, but I feel like Turin could just make a factory here and get some Medusa out real quick while he's sitting there, because I don't feel like he's at much of a threatening position right now. There's a lot of factories in PD there, but there's not enough units to really go in and take him out.
Yeah, the problem is I mean, he can't take this base because he's stalling 50 mass. So he can't build a factory and get Medusa. He has no mass to work with now. The middle is looking super nice for Torrent, and but now Cot is dropping the corners, which is good. So he should be able to get 6 extra mexes there, and overall Torrent should have a map control lead. I mean, he does right now, and he should continue to, because the middle looks good. He's also securing. He's going to secure basically every one of the 2 mechs in the middle with PD and radar. A factory somewhere would be good as well, but at this moment in time, he can't afford it anyway. So better to just build a PD, which is not going to cost you any mass in the long term, just in the short term, rather than a factory which will have to build stuff to be useful.
I'm starting to worry about Turin's ACO. Sorry to interject, but I think Turin's gotten a little too comfortable with being safe over there. Now there's a ton of Mantis for Kot just running over here. There's bombers. Turin's air factory was on pause for a little bit, so he's really behind the interceptors.
Yeah, it looks dangerous to me. The tanks on their own, he would be fine, because there's not enough there grouped up together. But once you add a few bombers in, and if he doesn't dodge these shots, which he's not doing, that's 250 to 300 damage usually from those bombs. So it's kind of bad to lose so much HP. However, I don't think he dies here because he's running to a factory. The bombers are dying here. The units are thinned out, and Torn is even going to get a vet now. So it's not all that bad. It might actually turn out to be decent for Torn, because there's quite a nice bit of reclaim there, over 1100 mass, 1200 mass, right next to his AC in the factory. So I think he might even be happy with that, although he did lose about 5k HP. He can regen that pretty quick as a nice Cybran com. Also 5 kill lab in the bottom right corner, by the way. Denied the factory, kill the mechs, and now it's shooting
the ground.
That's okay. That's okay.
There's more important things going on right now, I think.
Yeah, well, that lab was really nice to kill to even just deny the factory is very good.
One of his other labs has denied the 2 rare mexes closest to Turin still. He hasn't been able to stop that yet. I just gotta appreciate this guy. This was something that actually went into Turin's base. It was bugging the crap out of him earlier.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's unforgivable, honestly, for Turin. Like, how does he not have those 2 mexes? Look at the counterattack, though, on the left side is very big for Turin. Nothing to stop that right now. So that expansion is dead. Kot's ACU has been in no man's land, moving in various directions. Problem is, if you don't just commit to a position with the commander, you are defending nothing, because there's so much empty space. If you're walking from one mech to another, in between you're covering nothing. So Torin was covering stuff. He tries to take the right base, falls back to the 3 mexes. They're ended now. Kot sort of moved towards the left expansion. Wasn't able to take it, falls back, and he's just not. He didn't defend the 3 mech space, which now he's suffering badly for, as Torn gets a really good trade on the left side and can even. Yeah, he breaks off a few mantis to run to the corner where there is nothing to defend. Also, the factory may not even complete at this rate, especially if it stalls a bit of mass.
This beeline of I think Kot giving up on units to attack Turin's ACU has just turned to go to his absolutely defensive base right now. This does not look good. I saw this army coming over for the left from Turin that you pointed out earlier, and that looks good, but I think Kot's actually been prepared for that right now with his army, so I think he's going to hold that off pretty good. He's got bombers coming out to support that as well.
Yeah, look at Torrent's base. He has no. He's now trying to rush up PDs. He has nothing to stop this. He has like 5 mantis in his base right now.
These PDs are going up reasonably well though, and he's going to have to take out those engineers quick if he wants to actually make this work.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the both PDs
both
now.
up.
Actually, it's a mass donation.
Good reaction by Turin.
He could have ranged like gens at the front of the base. He actually could have killed those without being in PD range. But it was a very ambitious attack anyway. But there was a chance to do some serious damage and retreat. But I mean, it would have been. I mean, if he had pulled that off, it would have been masterful. But as it is, Torin, that's the advantage of having a bit of mass in the bank, or just a lot of build power in the area. I mean, he ended up losing, 2 mexes and some engineers got donated a lot of mass. And Cot just calls GG.
Interesting.
Having lost way too much map control and donating mass.
Yeah, the center being lost is quite a big deal. But
yeah, that's a lot of mexes.
That's 1-1 record for him with each other right there, and I'd say that this wasn't looking too bad in the beginning here for Kyle. He helped up, but it was just one unfortunate move that just led to too many units going after an ACU. That's tough sometimes.
Yeah, the attack on the ACU ended up not working out, and